Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
So I'm on Groves now. Yeah, Scales was really good earlier this week. Just wanted to play like at least one more league with it. I like the build we had too. I get the Mox Field up to date. The extra Caverns has been pretty good too. Kind of feel like if I, was not going to play the Riggin Scales, I'd still play 3 Caverns. Ooh, worst matchup off the go. Sucks. They have a very good start over there. Yeah, Boseiju helps some. It's just like it slows them down for a turn. Maybe they're just on 1 bounce land? They're playing really fast, like they are going to kill me here, but it doesn't seem like they're going to. I've been finding the 2 slot 2 congested. I mean, this has always been like the dynamic of Scales, is that you have 1,000,000 2 drops. And I don't know that there's like I think it's okay. Just have to Boseiju. Okay, maybe like Ballista on 0 if I felt like I wanted to attack, but they have the Dryad now. Some people are just saving Patchy for workers. That seems really. I don't know. I don't know why you do that. I mean, I guess mana curves, but that's not like the big solution to the Scales deck. Ooh, we just gotta shave Patchwork Automaton for workers, and then boom, the deck's saved, huh? A Black League Glow. We went 1-2. Didn't like the deck. No second bounce land? Not big. We could win if we top deck Arcbound Ravager, I think, too. Or if we draw a land, we get Stirrings for Ravager. So they get a bounce land. Come on, Ravager. We drew Ozolith for turn. So I could go float a mana, get Zabaz, cast Ozolith, activate Nexus, but then I can't use Zabaz. We're always floating a mana here. So if I get Springleaf Drum, Stirrings into Ravager, cast Ravager, I don't have enough mana either. Get to attack for a bunch. Am I ever... Okay, this is 3 more counters. Don't think we're cashing the Ballista. We could, though. Let's not. We can also leave the Patchwork back to block. Patchwork back to block is kind of juicy. Yeah, I think they're just too likely to kill me with Titan, but if I leave this back to block and then I just put the counters on the Ozolith, then I can like just kill them with Nexus, potentially. We can beat that. What? I thought they were done. Okay. Yeah, one thing about the ring build too is it used to get Force of Vigor in the sideboard for this matchup, which was awesome. Now you just have the Mites, which is less awesome. I keep the Shadowspear, and I boarded it out of this matchup and regretted it a good amount. I think you also need the Jars for their forces and stuff. I think you're just like completely off the ring in this matchup. I really looked like they were done with the trigger for a second. Pithing Needle for E and Hasteland. I usually think it's not worth it. We're going to board the Caverns. I'm on the play, so we're not boarding it in this game, but we can board it in for game 3. Yeah, we lost that game. We're on the play. This is bagging his Horizon Canopy. On the play. We have to play our Boseiju as a land. We're really close to killing them. Maybe a turn 3 kill some amount of the time. Right? I guess no. Yeah, we could trim a Caverns. That could be fine. So I go Inkmoth Nexus, Ravager, 2 Ravager. What can I draw to kill them next turn? Not really anything. I don't even think Jar does it, or Zabaz. If I draw Zabaz, still not 10, right, for next turn? Because I also don't have the mana to Ozolith. So I think I just Patchwork this turn. Only Jar? Oh yeah, because Jar's is 0, right? Tap land. I think it's better to play Ravager. Not sure that it's actually clear. Them not having gardens is really big. We dismember. They should not be doing this now. They're just taking an extra 5. But they're stopping me from Nexus killing them next turn. But I do just have a 12, or I mean they're at 7. Haywire Mite can chump block, but this maybe means they're just not getting Nexus. It's great. The card's okay. It's fine. It's not a card I've cast very much, but a card that I think is fine. Plays Dryad. Picks up Boseiju. Interesting game. Interesting draw. Maybe find to hold the Stomping Ground. Bonefish, thank you for the 10 months. We're doing well. Welcome back. I thought they could kill our creature, did they? They killed our Arcbound Ravager. They can't dismember Patchwork because of the Ward 2. Cutting the Patchworks is like, for like workers so dumb. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. Patchwork is so nuts. So they can Boseiju my Patchwork Automaton. Should have attacked with Inky, I guess. Hard to imagine, like, we're not dealing, like, 15 Infect, or, you know what I mean? Mite can't exile creatures. I don't know if we're just memeing, because everyone in chat is now, all of a sudden, every time a Mite's in play, they're like, kill the creature, kill the creature. As a goof. This is Gemstone Caverns. It has Boseiju, 4 mystery cards. Yeah, it's a really good Gemstone deck, for sure. Oh yeah, they thought they could kill the creature. I see. Maybe. I mean, there's always a lot to think about with Titan. Explosives on 2. What sucks is that if this Boseiju just resolves, we win. Kill them with the Nexus if this just resolves. Because we put the counters on Ozolith, can't kill them with the Nexus. So, too bad it's not a May. They're dead to Zabaz, Arcbound Ravager. Not quite dead to Springleaf Drum. I'll get in this time. So I guess Worker is better over, actually. you want it to die to removal. Main phase, make a token. Now why would you want to do that? Don't think we're supposed to jar there. Just want the flying Inkmoth, right? Scary spot with double amulet though. No bounce land? Breaking this ward trigger in comp RL will make for a weird, very weird investigation. Yeah. About if they Boseiju. Well, I can still Boseiju. I still have the Welding Jar though. To like at least present lethal every turn. Could you not Inkmoth attack there? I could attack with the Inkmoth, but it's like, yeah, I could have got it for the 1 damage again, but it just doesn't matter. It's like they're dying to like me putting all the counters here, or they're not, and like really no in between. They also can't cast a Titan here. They've already played a land for turn. Get Grazer. What the fuck? And Grazer blocks my Inkmoth. Wow, guess that's why. Shadowspear one time. No, they can pay for Pact. They can, you can filter this into green. But then what, right? Okay, got that one. Now I'll bring it in, chat. I'll bring this into... I do think we can also go down a land at the rings on the 22. Okay, game 3 on the draw. We have no Gemstone Cavern, no Scales. We have no Haywire Mite. I don't want to send this one back. It's on a mull to 6 also. That's not terrible though. I'm gonna mulligan. There we go. That's a hand. I'm either putting back second Saga or the Ancient Stirrings. Probably put back Stirrings is fine because I want to be able to go like turn 1 Saga and like get a second Mite off of it. Converting Prime to tier 1. Thank you. Need those tier 1s for the 70-30 Twitch split coming up in a couple months. Thank you, thank you. I really want to get it, and I'm worried I'm gonna. I've had enough subs for a long time, but I'm worried I'm gonna go down just a little too low while I'm in Europe. Of course, they have a hand that's not particularly weak to Mite, unfortunately. What you gonna do? Play Ravager this turn, I think. What's the tier 1 thing? So yeah, so Twitch is like doing this new system where maybe I should play Ballista. Where if you have, I think it's 350 paid subscribers for a 3-month period, by the time October starts, they'll give you the 70-30 Twitch split. I've been like, well, like about like double that for paid subscribers, maybe not quite double that for a little while, but my subs are gonna crash while I'm in Europe, taking like nearly a full week off pre-pro tour and then like extra time after. My subscriber count is gonna crash really hard, and so I'm worried I'm gonna go under, and that's the only metric they care about. So if you could keep your paid subscription on and your Twitch Prime if you want to still Prime, that would mean a lot in this time. Prime doesn't count for it. I'll still take your Prime. I appreciate it, but as far as the metric goes, it only cares about the paid subs. I'm not taking the full 3 weeks off. I'm taking the week before the Pro Tour off, and then I'm going to be streaming periodically while I'm in Europe. I'll be doing, my goal is to do like 3 or 4 3-hour streams, or like, you know, maybe more 2-hour streams, but still get some streams in. Gifting subs help? It doesn't help. I mean, I appreciate the support, but it doesn't help as far as the count. Thank you, Light, with continue to sub. Panda with the tier 1, thank you as well. Like, I just never ask for subscriptions. This is just like the one time I'll ever ask. I appreciate y'all, for sure. Am I allowed to stream my PT matches? No, I'm not. But there's gonna be coverage. Evan, 49 months. Let's fucking go. I've been sub 4 years. I'm not gonna stop. We take a few weeks off. Thank you. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But with the also continuing to gift the sub, thank you as well. Is it better now or August? I mean, I guess like the month of August. If you could only do one, the month of August would be the best, because that's like really when it's gonna matter the most. But or when the subs are gonna be at the lowest. So we'll get another Mite. I think maybe I could have found lethal with the second Zabaz. Kind of too late now, maybe. I guess I can still go like counter here, destroy this. Two more counters on Ballista. Get in for 5. Yeah, if I could have just had lethal with second Zabaz. 2x with the 2 gifted subs, thank you as well. I think we'll be fine. I think y'all have definitely also shown like a lot of, you know, there's been a lot of sentiment that y'all are trying to give me there. I think we'll be fine. Staples converting to tier 1, thank you as well. JPX with 11. Can of Paint also with the converted prime to tier 1, thank you. QX with the 2-pack also. When would be the best time to give subs? Last stream before you leave? I don't know. Whenever. I don't know. It's all ultimately the same, you know. For time. Whenever you feel is the most appropriate moment. Okay, well, hard time imagining my opponent can not die here. I currently have a 10-10 Ballista. Okay, Princess GG's. In Twitch's history. On the draw, we have a Stirrings hit a land, we have a Scales. Up against Kihira. I think we'll keep this against Kihira. In 6 more months. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. How's the ring feeling in Scales? It feels good. I think it's correct to play it in Scales. How good is Scales overall? I'm not really sure. It's such a disaster if the Stirrings gets... I guess we have 2 Stirrings. I'm still just casting this here. Maybe even like we'll Stirrings turn 2. The second, another green. You want to come to Italy? I am planning on coming to Italy while I'm in Europe. Me and Esther are going to go to Venice. Then we're going to go Rome and then Venice. Gross. No main deck Haywire Mite either. We drop it for a cutoff, will it be revaluation later? Yeah, it's just like another 3 months. Like the timer like resets for 3 months is how it works. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it, but I just, you know, to at least communicate it. Yeah, usually Chelsea 1 isn't that crazy. It's like very good against this hand, obviously. All I remember is 40-degree heat and pigeons. How much is 40 degrees? I always do the stupid Celsius Fahrenheit meme, but... I guess I should probably be looking at the weather a little bit, too. AF? Well, I mean, I'm over 100, okay. In Southern Europe, they use Kelvin. Flickering at Days Undoing. So it's 104 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's like, it's been like 104 like every day this week here in Dallas. But it's hot. It's it's not like, yeah, I'm not going outside when it's that hot. If you do well, yeah, you can theoretically chain PTs. Of course, be pretty ideal. Dress down. No. Mad Cow, 10 months, thank you. So we know they have a prismatic ending. I think I'm just hitting the Narset for 1. If they have like Natty Days Undoing, they have Natty Days Undoing. But I need to be able to, like, if they have Verdict, I need to be able to go like, although they can just go pending the Hangarback Verdict. Maybe. You have AC everywhere indoors? Yeah. So yeah, maybe it's a bit more miserable in Europe, huh? Esther's pretty used to no AC. She grew up with no AC in Texas. We're gonna Prismatic Ending the Ravager. So I guess we're just putting a counter on the Hangarback. Yeah, Esther had kind of a rough childhood. Tragic backstory. Okay, bounce the token. Man, that chalice is so fucking good. Oh yeah, I forgot about the charger converter thing. It's like such an easy thing to forget about too. Esther bought like a charging brick thing. I think that's probably what that's for. So going on to 8, pretending like we can win this game. Yeah, I think that's what Esther bought. I guess I need another one though. Am I renting a car? Not planning on it. Renting a car. We will if we have to. So we're gonna go to London too and visit Harry. And we should just be able to use the train while we're there. Okay, I was hoping that this might happen at some point. Okay, the second Chalice on 1. We may be able to get out of this. I'm not sure. Just gonna put these 1-drops over here. Then we probably can just slam our own ring in this spot. We drew Saga? Oh man, this would be a sick game to win. Am I going drinking with Harry? If he'll have us. If he'll have us. Okay, finding my ring. I tapped the Walker over the Ballista. I guess I messed up, huh? They get another copy of the ring. Oh, blue-white control, so boring. Always the most boring. This is binding. Okay. Cast the binding. Target the Hangarback. They don't have pro everything, do they? They don't. I don't think they do, at least. Like, they have a ring on 1 counter. Oh my god. I guess it's kind of hard for them to not have Solitude. They also messed up by, like, not responding to the ability. Come on, ring. I guess they just have another ring in their hand. We can concede. I guess a classic player who never can ever possibly win against the control players complaining about the game. Just concede, move on. I'm going to bring in, I think, 2 mites. 2 mites, no Shadowspear. Down of Stirrings. Proof, tier 1 for 3 months. Thank you, Proof. Appreciate that. All 3 seems to go with binding. I don't think you need 3. It'd be bad to draw like 2 copies early. And like playing like the Mite for binding game plan is a slow game plan, and you don't necessarily want to play a super slow plan against them. I don't think you want Needle for Teferi and Narset. Especially because like Narset passive is still like relevant, Teferi passive is still less relevant but relevant. I do want to lead on Mite so that Chalice is a little bit worse, I guess. Probably have explosives too. Really? I feel like I've almost never seen explosives out of blue-white control. Is that like did the Discord have a meeting or something? Mosh with the 8 months. Thank you. And I think we're supposed to lead on Hangarback Walker here. They can't dress down it to kill it, and Hangarback Walker is pretty important against the Verdict deck. Yeah, I would suggest no coffers if you like the black decks. Been playing a lot of that deck and liking it a lot. But probably find a just Saga token here too. Still a little scared to dress down. Well, I feel like dress down's been like a little less common lately, at least. Days Undoing? Can you imagine? Okay, they bounce the Hangarback. I wonder if we're ever supposed to get a Welding Jar. Yeah, we lost to Mono Black, no coffers, playing for the trophy with Bant. Probably fun to get either the Ozolith or Springleaf Drum. Let's get Springleaf Drum. The Bant deck I feel like has a little bit of potential. A lot of like very tough deck building restrictions. It's hard to like every time you change 1 card, it feels like you're changing like 4 cards. It was a good first draft. Definitely, I think it's gonna be a deck that I'll play more next week because like next week I think you're gonna see me not playing almost any Shieldred Ring Bowmaster decks. You're not gonna see me playing any of the other decks I'm like super seriously considering for the PT. Just gonna be trying to play some of the more like fun stuff, the more like off the wall stuff on stream, and then still be doing the testing off stream too. Okay, so let's just go Scales, Patchwork now. They have a second Verdict. They have a second Verdict. I did not like the Golgari deck. Oh yeah. I also want to stream some limited next week. I We're gonna be doing tomorrow's Modern Challenge. I don't know what I'm playing yet, but I'll also be like aggressively drafting during the challenge tomorrow. Kind of cram studying, but I feel like I'll be able to get there. Plantron. Okay. Yeah, just play black green in the challenge. Oh, whoops. Read it. Classic. Read the comments. Punts. -1 mana this turn is pretty bad. I guess I can just go like Stirrings into land, Ring. Obviously, if I miss on land, it's a nightmare. Well, Mite is good. And it's also nice that we're in a spot that if my opponent does like slam Verdict, they are dead to the Nexus. Yeah, people keep saying Lord of the Rings is really deep gameplay-wise. It's gonna be exciting. I'll probably, make some mistakes still, but it'll be okay. Okay, will not be too surprised to see this get countered. Okay. Forgot to attack again. So they need like Verdict plus Solitude to, or just keep chaining rings, which is pretty easy. Like this one, they can go to Fairy Bounce Ring replay. Being open decklist, is it not worth it to get more practice with what deck I'm most likely to play? No, I'm trying. Like we made an agreement as a team to not try to give information to the other teams on what decks we're gonna play. Obviously, like it's hard to conceal information completely, but like by Monday, we're just like not streaming the super serious decks anymore. Would be good though. I think it would actually be really fun to be like playing some like fun brews and and drafting. That would be like a really nice change of pace, I think. So they need double Solitude now. No, it would be a huge mistake to restrict the ring, I think. People have been suggesting this a lot and they're only suggesting it because it's called the One Ring. They're like, but you just can't make a ban restricted announcement on flavor purposes. It just doesn't make any sense to, for flavor reasons, restrict the ring. It makes, I think, a lot more sense in my mind to ban it if it's too good, and ban if it's too good. Especially with Karn the Great Creator existing in the format, restricting it would just be a huge buff to any deck playing Karn the Great Creator. Okay. No. The whole team would play the same deck. I mean, not for sure, but like that is always the goal. The goal is always to have the entire team playing the same deck. Because then, like, you found the best deck and everyone agrees. That's great. It's really good. But I think at the time of making this comment, it would be unlikely if everybody played the same thing. So I go sack the Thopter. 4 counters on Ravager, so I get up to 8 counter. I feel like I'm fucking this up. But 6, 8, and then the 8 counters become 9 Exacxies. Obviously, they could have 3rd Solitude here, but it doesn't seem super likely. That's scary. Always scary to go for those kind of spots. Oh, we're 1-0 in this league, right? Isn't Karn winning the Ring Wars anyways? No, not really. But like, that is I think an awful argument for restricting it. Also. Karn's winning the Ring Wars anyways. Just restrict that. I think maybe on the draw we lead on Patchwork. I'm not sure. The leading on Hangarback was a bit better. It's like if they have Teferi, it's kind of awkward to Hangarback first. Might just get countered either way. What control mid-range deck are you bringing in Giant Killer versus? Murktide. Is it healthy, the rings everywhere? Nope. Ring is a huge design mistake, for sure. The ring is the most egregious design mistake since Tybalt's Trickery and Valky, I think. I think it's more egregious than Saga and Ragavan. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe since MH2. It's probably about as bad as them. Worse than Breach. Well, Breach is much before that, but not worse than Breach. Breach is worse. Uro Oko probably a little worse too, but like not by much. Like it's not like these cards are like that much better. What about the ring makes you think it's a design mistake? Well, I mean, it just like almost all design mistakes fall under this problem. They do too much for too little. The ring definitely falls into this category, I think, of doing too much for too little. And more specifically, the life loss downside of the ring does not mitigate the combination of like protection time. You know, people when they call it 4-mana Time Walk Ancestor Recall, that it is really close to that. It is really close to that, which is just like way too efficient. It just is way too efficient. If it wasn't indestructible, it'd be fine. It would be better. But there's like a lot of things. Like a good way to like know too if a card is broken like this. It's like it's always like, oh, if it wasn't indestructible, maybe if you lost more life. It's like it's usually like a combination of a lot of things. A combination of a lot of things, like a lot of little things that just make it too fucking good. And then like as from like a design perspective too, like one of the biggest problems with it is that it's colorless and can just go in every single deck. Fuck. Is colorless and it can just go in every single deck. But let's get attacking first, maybe better there. And like when you compare that to Uro and Oko, it's just like those cards were really ubiquitous. You saw them everywhere. You saw them all the time. But it wasn't as bad as like like the ring is like the best card draw spell in Modern. There are tons of decks drawing cards that want to draw cards. There are tons of decks that can facilitate 4-mana spells. And so like any deck that wants to play 4-mana spells or can play 4-mana spells, and any deck that wants to draw is interested in a card draw spell is going to play the ring. And that's just like a huge chunk of Modern decks that like want a card draw spell and can't play 4 drops. Protection is the biggest problem. I mean, I don't know. So like saying it's a problem, sure, but it's like that's the card. That's like half the card is protection from everything. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like saying this removing this entering with X counters on it is the problem. This being a domain card is the problem. This being a companion is the problem. Like, yeah, I guess, but that's also like that's just the whole card. that's just all of it. Or like half of it, you know what I mean? Like a huge chunk of it. I don't know. I'm mostly being nitpicky, of course. As we find out the companion, yeah, I guess, but it's also like, it's like the ring like wouldn't be good without it. I don't know. It's like these kind of points are like, oh, it's this thing is the problem, and when it just goes from like I don't know that the ring would be like playable at all if you just remove that whole line of text. I don't know. I'm mostly just like not even talking about anything right now. Just talking. Just chatting. Alright, Walking Ballista, you are my only hope. I guess they only have one card in their hand. You know, for my opponent who had like 2 timely counter spells, 2 verdicts, an insane dress down, we're not doing so bad. I think the meta will adapt to the ring same way it adapted to Saga Ragavan. Of course, it has. Like the Bowmaster being so ubiquitous is like a huge part of the reason why the ring is why Bowmaster is partially why Bowmaster is so good. But Bowmaster is also really good. Lots of blue-white tier 2. Well, it depends. Is blue-white control your pet deck? Because pet decks are all tier 1.5. Otherwise, yeah, tier 2. Unless it's your pet deck, then we make an exception. Transfers the boss counters with Inkmoth. I don't think with my opponent being at 11, I'm not that interested in just like throwing my creature away like that. Not worth going for 3 turn on Inkmoth? I don't think so. You also like, it's nice to have the sack outlet effect too. Yeah, Ring is good in the deck, I think. Or it's like good enough to play at least. Alright, we win. GG, dude. That was that dress down was disgusting. I like was holding that. Put us on a mold 6. How did he win that? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Maybe because blue-white control sucks. Maybe that could be the answer. Misty Rainforest, go. Yeah, tier 1.5. Big Scales has an alright 4-color matchup. Yeah, I think I've only played a matchup once, but I did win. Seemed okay. How's testing going? I don't know, I'm kind of like losing my mind, I feel, every day. Maybe that's like exactly where I need to be. Usually Scales is pretty good against Living End. Although, like, when we played Scales Monday, we were 0-2 against it, despite, like, it historically being a really good matchup. The ring definitely does not help, but also, like, being on the draw, not having a slower hand, not having an Arcbound Ravager. Do I have a deck in mind for the challenge? Not really. I want to play not mono black. I could play mono black, but we played mono black in last weekend's challenge. We started off 6-0, then finished 6-2, and then fell off on breakers. I don't know what I'll play though. Maybe play Yawgmoth, honestly, I don't know. I've been playing some off stream. I'll talk to my team a little bit too and figure something out. For Dark Souls stuff, well, I kind of taken an extended break, but I do have hopes and dreams of one day continuing. Kind of Grove. I think having like a land that doesn't deal you any damage in your ring deck is kind of nice. It's not really that big a deal. But it's just like, this is the dual land of choice in this this build. So we're gonna bring in the Crypts and the Jars. Got the Shadowspear. I think I can play one ring. Not sure if I think we're the aggro deck, so I'll cut a Grove. Oh, sorry, cut a Caverns. Stay on the play. Joel will cut a Grove up the third Caverns. I don't really want to trip Stirrings. Stirrings, like, finding Crypt is really good. I guess Patchwork is our worst threat by a good amount. We could maybe even go down to 2 Patchwork, play 2 rings. Could also play Shadowspear. I think Shadowspear is maybe, like, important often enough to keep it. I used to cut Shadowspear a lot in these matchups and then, like, would regret it a lot too. Cage is good. Cage does not stop living in. Cage is for Yawgmoth and like mostly just Yawgmoth, but you can bring it in maybe against Breach decks and definitely against like Gorios and Breach and Sam combo. I talked to LSV for draft tips. I was planning on it, yeah. Yeah, I still like this has been like very exciting for the teaming that I've really been able to just like totally dive into constructed and then feel comfortable in my ability to have the team help me catch up when it comes time to be working on the limited stuff. And like that's like really for the testing house, like working on the limited stuff is gonna be awesome. Okay, so let's go. I think we go Hangarback this turn, especially because we have 2 Ravagers, so if they have Grief, we still have the other Ravager. And then if they go for Living In, we're in a spot where we can just like dump a million counters on Hangarback Walker. Ooh. Well, that's definitely something they needed here. Let's keep it on top. Tapped Breeding. Probably gonna Grove. over Karplusan Forest here. Another Ravager, Inkmoth Nexus. Looks like Saga, I guess. Don't need third Ravager. Ulti number 2? Fuck. That's how they get you, I guess. Can we beat 2 subtlety? Oh, okay, never mind. We're in good shape. Never mind, just in good shape. Unless they have the dreaded 3rd subtlety. Now it's just so hard for them to win. My flight, I'm leaving a week from today. A week from today. Counter on the Hangarback. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a vacation home over there. Green phase is interesting. I guess we sack the Ravager to itself, so the Zabaz ability lets me modular for 1 more. Mono White Suppression Field deck? Oh, can you link the mono? That sounds awesome. I would love to see Mono White Suppression Field. They deadify Shadowspear up a flyer. They have a lot of toughness there. Yeah, I think we're gonna just do like very slow plan, make a big construct, grab a Shadowspear. Glad we didn't cut it, huh? Yeah, Inta's reach, they have 3 flyers, so not really getting through. They just want to like 6 Thopters for 2 subtleties. That's like a pretty fair trade, right? Manifold Key. You could play a Manifold Key. I played Key in a few decks. It was okay. I just didn't think it ended up being worth the slot. You know, just kind of classic. Don't play bad cards, make your good cards better. Obviously, there are some exceptions to that rule, but I didn't feel like that was one of the exceptions. No, they're in bad shape. With like me having Crypt and Ravager, they don't want a Living End again. So I guess if I attack like this, I'm really only... Maybe I should have kept all the other Thopters, huh? Maybe I should have fired up the Nexus. Because it's fine. 10 is a pretty big game. Hey, lethal last turn? Tell me I had lethal last turn. Every time I play Scales, it's just like... Spike, 3 turns ago you had lethal. And like, then you just like silence after that. Not... Oh, I can just jar too. Just like, no, nothing else. You could have sacked the Thopters after the trade for the Arcbound counter. Yeah, was that lethal on the backswing? Maybe it was. But it's also like, it's like lethal if they have nothing, right? Like, this is also a thing that happens all the time. It's like lethal if they have nothing. But I'm currently winning I'm winning the game even if they have like a Disenchant. I'm winning a game if they have a Boseiju. I'm winning if they have Odawara. I may be winning if they have like Foundation Breaker or Force of Vigor. I'm not winning the game I think where I just go all in on a token and they disenchant it. You have sacked the Thopters and trade for Arcana. You could have for sure. You could have. I think this is a fine plan though. Just outgrind them. They're not putting this on the stack, are they? Weird. Accomplished by sacking Ravagers. My opponent has a Living End on the stack, so if I sacrifice them, they go to the graveyard, then they come back when their Living End resolves. Freezing back and grows. Yeah, I think with Ring in the deck, you just would prefer like a less painful mana base. I just think it's keepable. Although I think I'm just gonna not Gemstone Caverns with this hand. Maybe pitch the second Ravager. And my opponent mulls to 5. Argue this hand is better than merely keepable? Yeah, sure. Sure. I'm happy to keep it. If I pitch second Ravager, I'm like so much weaker to grief. Exile land. I think I would just rather have the third land. Just plays a boss turn 1, play Ravager turn 2. Not putting caverns in place seems crazy. I almost feel like it should just easily correct here even, but whatever. Pitch Ravager living in it anyways. No, Gemstone Caverns exiles. It doesn't discard. So, tapped Breeding Pool is pretty interesting. They subtlety me pretty bad last game. Maybe subtlety was a reason to Gemstone Cavern. But then there's but if am I pitching the land, then things could get really awkward. Am I pitching the Ravager, things could get pretty awkward. I guess you got a Force also. Oh, they also got Breeding Pool, but they don't have a red mana. That's also maybe a mistake. Okay, so let's go. Cast Hangarback. Hopefully this resolves. Pitch Zabaz maybe in the line. It didn't seem like a better line than what we did necessarily. I'm pretty sure you want to Legend roll Zabaz instead of sack one, because the second Zabaz will give you an extra modular counter you wouldn't get otherwise. And you just want more counters on Hangarback Walker anyways, so that after they living in, you just have a million Thopters. What did my opponent keep? What the fuck? Pitching Force. Oh wait, they mulled to 5. I forgot they mulled to 5. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Hang on, I should be able to attack for lethal this turn. Let's see. So this is 8, right? Havoc, 21 months, thank you. You can just put the counters here, because again, I want as many Thopters as possible if they're living in, and I just either way it's just still lethal next turn. Oh, oops! It shouldn't be F6 though. This living in give you Thopters. Yeah, the Hangarback Walker dies. It doesn't destroy everything twice. So the Hangarback Walker dies, this trigger goes on the stack, and boom. 9 Thopters? Ten Thopters. Enough reach to stabilize? I can present lethal really easily here. They have to have another Force and another green card to get out of this. Why all that hate for Tron when it's easy to counter? What are you talking about? As living in loss? Yeah, that happens all the time in this matchup. Happened last game too. This is one of the best matchups for Scales, because you just don't care that much about their living in plan at all. We've had to work pretty hard for it, but we are easily. Let's lead on Stirrings here. I'm not particularly worried about card availability for deck choices. I'll be able to figure it out basically no matter what. All Scales versus 4-color felt unwinnable. I think it's fine. I don't. I'm want to know at against at the moment. The ring was like a really nice addition against them, but it. Well, gets fight twice in a row. I feel like since so many people have been picking Living End up, it's gone from like the deck that people play the fastest to the deck that people play the slowest. You have Lucy to entertain us though. You take his hanger? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna take the scales. That's what the deck is named after all. That is the deck's name. We're taking the scales. Play about second grief by playing this first. No, we never ended up playing the Living In deck on stream. It's also just kind of like a pretty known quantity at this point, you know. It's not like it's like everybody's. It's like literally like we played against twice in a row. Yeah, everybody. That's like just kind of stock Living In now. For me, it was like the low land count was cool, but for me, what was cool was like the main deck Furies, which is also like pretty stock now, or like some number, not 4. What tokens do I like to use? I have a friend who's a artist, Ben makes stuff. He gave me a lot of tokens. I'll probably bring some of those with me. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to activate this. What are the chances of some breakout deck doing really well at the PT? I mean, I think it's incredibly unlikely you have something like that's super obscure and something that's super obscure and just like totally takes everybody by surprise. But I think there's a good chance you see like a good take on like something people have seen before, you know, rather than something just completely new. Would a 2-minute cascade spell be too strong? Come on. Yeah, did anybody link the mono white suppression field list? If they take Ballista, could maybe still draw a land and win. Maybe they take Ozzy. They do take the Ozolith. Game feels winnable. Oh, now feels very winnable. We don't just have lethal. We have, I believe, 11, right? Because this is... Oh, no, 10. 7 plus 8, 10. Or 7 plus 1, 2, 8, 10. Opponent. Shocks in the Stomping Ground. Shocks in the Stomping Ground. Okay. Let's fucking go. Am I traveling with my whole modern collection? I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I'm probably going to be bringing, like, just all my modern staples and, like, 3 sleeved decks and plus, like, some extra... Plus, like, just, like, other staples, but... No, I'm not really it's like the Pro Tour is at a Magic Con. You know, there's going to be vendors there. There's going to be a ton people there that we can talk to get cards. I'm not worried about it. I've never been unable to get cards for a tournament in the last like in like the last 8 years I've been grinding. I'm not too worried about it this time. Lucy, please, no. I know someone's moving over there. They give you more attention than I'm giving you. Yeah, I feel like lately TSA used to give me, you know, they used to like look at the boxes and stuff. I can't remember the last time they like looked in a deck box of mine. I feel like they know now. I feel like TSA is just like doesn't care about deck box anymore, or like maybe they just don't like care about doing their job, which is classic aspiring spike match, just up 7 minutes on the first game. I hear people talking about cutting Patchwork for modular to load the curve. I hate it. I really hate it. Patchwork is so much better than Worker. It just seems like some nonsense to me. So Professor Mono player face Professor, yeah, for sure. But like, there's a difference between playing faster and I've used 1 minute. You've used 6 minutes. It's like XX, right? They're dead if they have nothing. I believe. I'm not forgetting the foods. I don't want them to living end on my turn. I'd rather them do it on their turn. I can also like just do nothing too. I can just do nothing so easily here. They just don't have lethal. Yeah, they just concede. I just can do nothing. This is something I think that's like very good advice if you're learning to pick up scales, if you're learning to get into the deck. Doing nothing is the right play a ton of the time. So much of the time, it's just right to do nothing. Maybe that's like not a glowing review of the deck or whatever, but just consider letting your opponent make the first move. It's like you're at a gala, and you just want to let the other suitors make the first move. Yeah, no cage. Cage does not stop living end still, despite Chatter's always suggesting it. Still doesn't stop it. I can keep this. The one of Baggin's a little bit awkward. If they don't move, you don't move. That's a great way to put it. It's cage, but it says in parentheses, it also stops living end. I don't know how exactly, but it does stop it. That's the whole text on the card. Maybe better to... No, I think it's better to play Scales. I don't know. Boss first is maybe a little bit better against living end. Thank you, Sharps. Oh no, don't show me a deck list with ambitious farmhand, please! No! Why would you show me a deck list? I don't know, I asked for it. Oh, the Foundation Breaker is really good. We may need to go Stirrings for a Crypt here. We're looking for a Crypt. This is like classic Legacy player brain. Worship. Oh, man. No Crypt. So yeah, we can lose to Grief into Foundation Breaker into Living End. Suppression Field looks nuts, but every other card looks so awful to me. I like Restoration's okay. That goes to Street Wraith. Okay, no Living End this turn is nice. It's like I just like the Suppression Field gamers. Like, can we just please like run any playable cards in our deck? I don't know. Are there none? Maybe all the good ones have activated abilities. But surely there's got to be like some fucking playable card out there. Oh yeah, I could play. I don't know. Could play Esper Sentinel Ranger Captain. I guess Ranger Captain has an activated ability. Oh, they just don't have Living End. Okay, cool. We're 4-0. Weren't we 4? We were 4. I think we were 4-0. Our first league was Scales too. Maybe I'm misremembering. I think we lost playing for a trophy. Second trophy prediction of the day. We lost with Bant playing against Mono Black No Coffers. Will Scales. Mulligan the 7. Keep on 6. Got lead on Forest. So another Force of Negation deck, maybe. Ooh, blue-white affinity. I think I'm probably the aggro, so I'll keep dealing myself damage rather than letting them gain life. I think we've cast 3 against blue-white, but yeah, we didn't draw very much this league or cast it or whatever. You get Sword of the Meek, huh? Yeah, I think Samwise is not an insane card, but it's like playable. Definitely better than Farmhand. Beth Texas player, I'm offended, but it's not as bad as you think. Well, that's the thing though. It's like I know what it does, right? It's like, you get a land, okay, and you're like happy you cast a 2-drop, and then you got a card out of it, and it feels good. But it's in the context of like other 2-drops in the format, it's just so weak, It is just like incredibly weak, and you don't have to play it. Whoa! They just named Ballista. I think I'm still playing the Ballista this turn. I think I like play Ballista, activate Ozolith. Don't have a main deck Mite. We can maybe go for Shadowspear on Patchwork. It's like suspicious. It wasn't even in her hand. Why was it suspicious? Sauce with Saga out. Should have activated Ozolith. Oh, I always forget. Yeah, I always forget the Ozolith first. I forget it every single time. I forget to put the counters on this first to put it here. I've basically never remembered it. So I do think I can do it this turn though. Just put max pressure on them. It is pretty fun though that the new Ozolith interacts with the old Ozolith in this way. Very flavorful. It'd be bad to attack with the Ballista in case they like double block it and then I never draw, and then they draw a removal spell. I feel like they would have portable hold this turn if they had it. I guess they do only need to single block it. Yeah, probably bad to attack with Ballista. But I could also like move the counters over on the Patchwork next turn. Yeah, so they're gonna need an Urza or another portable hole next turn, I think. And if they're blocking the Ballista, that's like 3 more damage that they're taking. But probably better to have the Ballista because of portable hole. Extra damage not that relevant. Mash 8 months, thank you. Yeah, big Ponton. That being said, if I can find a creature we're still in good shape, we would just be like killing them here. We have a really high life total. We have a bag end. Got a good number of creatures in the deck. Too bad they have the Ballista would be like Walking Ballista, but it's like Walking Ballista. That was a great Pithing Needle, huh? Wait, how? What? They have another one? What the fuck? And a Mite? Come on, dude! This is game 1! I know I threw the game, but still. If they had an Urza, they would have just won. I guess I should have tapped the Horizon Canopy. Oh, okay. Well, they're just fucking up. They're just F6 with the Haywire Mite in play. What a game. Both players fighting hard. Now, both players working hard here. Oh yeah, maybe just like get rid of the Shadowspear was better also. I mean, they still can get, maybe that's still their plan. Surely it's not right for them to not kill the Ozolith. I don't know. Probably might the Shadowspear, yeah. Or just have an Urza. A ring. Well, not much we can really do. Probably could just be conceding. Yeah, very dead to Urza. I have a Cauldron too? Okay, I will go to game 2. What in the world are we taking out? 5 cuts to make. Against a lot of exile-based removal deck, we can cut the second Ozolith. We can go down a land, down a ring, down a stirring. This is all fine. Patchwork is looking fine. Got a Hangarback. Have there been mini games where the One Ring was relevant? Not really this league so much, but we also played the deck on Monday, and the ring was pretty relevant there. I haven't drawn it that often. Could also definitely play less than 4. Thoughts on the Palantir card? I think it's awful. Could be better than I think. Like keeping. Just not sure which card I'm leading on. We just stirrings. The RCQs this weekend? I'm qualified for the next RC. Let's go Scales, Drum. Thanks, we can go Patchwork Ravager. Grab a Cauldress. Maybe we're needling Stoneforge. Yeah, definitely want like a 2-drop. Like any spell is good. I'm trying to think of spells that I'm not happy to draw. I can't really think of anything. Including the ring. I will be playing the Boseiju so I can attack with the Patchwork. A little bit scared of them comboing off with Urza this next turn. Right to stir. I don't think it's right to stirrings over just hitting for 5. I should go Patchwork first into Scales, Drum, Ravager. I guess that's maybe a little bit better. Okay, so they're just like, you know, making 3 Thopters a turn. It's not really something to be too worried about yet. Draw 2 cards. Stirrings look for Ballista. Find Ballista. Ravager first. I think we have lethal because we don't have the Ozolith. We're just passing. I like that we can kill an Urza too. Although they can get needle off Saga. We have Haywire Mites in the deck right now. And like, you know, with the ring we're drawing 3 a turn, or you know, a lot of cards a turn. So I guess I need to decide if in response, and I guess I should have done this in response to that Thopter trigger maybe. I think I'll just ping a Thopter. I don't think I really need to like just kill the other Thopters here. They don't seem to matter that much. Unfortunately dead to Urza. Yeah, there's not much we can do about it. Please don't just be an Urza. Okay, just a ring. So we need to try to find a Haywire Mite, I think. We have 3 of them. They got a Cauldron, which is stranded in their hand. Oh, don't even need to tap the ring for it, but we will tap the ring anyways. Another Scale, so they should be like super dead here, right? I guess they could have like Rebuke. Probably should have played my other Scales first. Untaps the ring in response. Yeah, so it's a pretty simple win. Upkeep kill? Yeah. Okay, go to game 3. That's a hand. I think it's a keep. I know it's a 1-lander, but it's like we have double Scales, Drum as a mana source. This hand is just too good to mulligan, despite it being a 1-lander. Is this the best Ravager deck in the format? Yeah, for sure. There's not really another Ravager deck in the format that I'm aware of. We just draw a land. Now the hand's great. All the Hardened Scales in the world. I guess I should have played Mite first. How often are they going to Mite my Drum, though? Not very often, I would think. They didn't use the mana. Fine. 4 cards in their hand. Draw a Zabaz. Maybe I should go Zabaz plus Needle this turn. Seems okay. Seems like it could go either way though. Probably name Heath if they don't crack, but if they do crack, I name Thopter Foundry. And they may just Haywire Mite my Needle. We've gotten it for damage too if we played Zabaz before tapping to the drum. So we can go Ballista next turn, Zabaz target itself, move 7 counters onto the Ballista, and the Ballista comes down with 4, so 11 Ballista. Minus a little bit if they get rid of the scales. Pretty bad if they have like Metallic Rebuke. Not like a ton to do about that though. They probably have a bunch of 4-drops in their hand. Okay. No, that didn't just happen. What are you talking about? The rejection? That was a good Path to Exile. I've not seen a Path to Exile that good in a while. But it definitely has some 4-drops in their hand. Worst draw in the deck. Six cards in their hand. Land drop. We do have Thopter Foundry Needle, which is kind of nice. Although they have the Haywire Mite for it, I guess, also. Kind of a wash. 4 cards in their hand. Shadowspear really good for them. I feel like Ballista. I don't know. Probably doesn't do it. Well, I can play my own ring, or I can play a Ballista X equals 1, which has 4 counters. X equals 2, 5 counters. Seems better than playing the ring into an onboard Haywire Mite. I think we just X equals 1 so we can get in with this patchwork. I don't have to necessarily use this yet. Are we dead? I don't know. I feel like I'm still on this corporeal plane. Oh, I guess, sorry, I forgot the construct just blocks so well. Probably should have just done the 1 extra. Although, so I ended up there 14 too. It's just so tough. Target the Thopter Foundry. Oh, but they're taking 2. Okay, so if I attack with both, my opponent has to block the Patchwork. Yeah, they have to block the Patchwork. They're dead. The big one. So I think we do attack with both. Should, like, especially because we can kill both their creatures, or we can kill just this one. Yeah, killing this so they can't spear or something at least. They go down to 7. They do a Thopter Foundry, nothing we can do. They have 7 cards in their hand. I would think if one of those cards was a Thopter Foundry, they might have cast it already. We should have killed the Urza. Maybe. I feel like this ended up being fine. Urza's just not that good, you know what I mean? Bounce Patchwork, pay Ward 2. Ring Foundry. We played a little bit of Ring Foundry, I think. I can't remember if that was on stream or not, but it didn't seem particularly interesting. I kind of think we're gonna win, y'all. I kind of think we're gonna win. Aren't they dead? They're not. They have 6 cards in their hand, 3 mana, y'all. But they have 6 cards in their hand, 3 mana. Let's see where the cards lie. Let's go! Wow. The Ballista off the Stirrings was really clutch. Beating that Path to Exile is also crazy. Crazy to beat the Path to Exile there. That was a dirty path. I don't know. We played the blue-white deck too. It was like very cool and just not very good. Wait, there's a Lord of the Rings Cabal Coffers? How have I not seen this? I mean, the EDH players are just having so much fun. Y'all get to like, ooh, I'm going to get the Minas Morgul. I'm going to get it for my deck. And I just have no idea it even exists. Doom, thanks for the raid. Although I think we're also going to be sending the Doom Mike Raiders somewhere else. We just trophied with Ring Scales. Was liking the deck on Monday. Trophied with it today.